Dr. Fred, listen, we were teaching about what are we doing. There's a lot of stuff that's going on here. Preparation, planning to prepare, and then being organized. You can say, I want to cook broccoli. Okay, but if you don't have any broccoli and you didn't buy any, you're not cooking broccoli. You get it? So you've got to have some planning. And yeah, planning your nutrition. Very important. That's not what we're covering this morning. What we're covering this morning is a whole nother ballgame. See? Because this interference, this is not you, but it could look like you. This interference, the spinal cord is attached here and here. It's not attached in between. And we have these angles. We have an upper angle, which is up here. Then we have a lower angle and an angle there, and then an angle there, and then an angle there, and then an angle there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles of stress that can be put into the system. This happens to be the thickest part of the spinal cord. The thickest part is right here, C4 and 5. So you got any numbness or tingling in your hands, your middle finger, your pinky, or your thumb, that's going to be lower down here, and this is a transition with the shoulders. And so you look at the posture of the patient, and you see they're humped up, they're just like this. See? I had a patient this morning, and then she wondered why her back's hurting, because she's in a state of tension. If you pull a bow and you hold it there all the time, you're going to get tired. The muscle's going to fatigue. And we know the muscle has got nothing to do with it. It's the mind, or the physiology, what we call the innate mind. This whole thing. I was taught that the spine is one organ, not separate. One organ. Wow, that blew my mind. So when you're touching the sacrum here, yeah, we've always said we're upper cervical with the sacral focus. So we do some flexion distraction. Okay? Why? And very passive. Relax, chill out. Long y-axis. Load, unload. Load, unload. And the body likes that. But all these different, like I had a little baby in that's showing a little sign of T6. See? Stomach. And you should know that by now. Now, as you have this interference, then there's a few things. So they say there's no such thing as a subluxation. Well, that's not true. You know, you obviously haven't read the books on the subluxation, because the first one is a misalignment. So you've got to learn what is a misalignment and where is there misalignment. Number 2, it stands for M.O.T.I.S. M.O.T.I.S. O, occlusion of an opening. Stenosis, spinal stenosis. Ever heard of that? Yeah, got some of it too. But it's more than that. This P became a T because people said, well, there's no such thing as pressure on a nerve. Well, in my case, there's tension on the autonomic nervous system. Tension. And let me tell you something. The system, the autonomic nervous system does not like tension. Number 4 is I, interference. And we can measure that. We can measure interference. And they've got all kinds of visual aids, scanners. And number 5, S, is symptoms or the emotional component of pain that brings the patient to the office. But if they don't have M.O.T.I.S, then you can't help them. So you have to find out. And we cover this in the Schofield functional analysis. We cover all those aspects and how, but this one here, the emotional component of pain is important because you have to synchronize with the patient. That is one of the best Rhino moments I've given for a while. And so it is. Keep charging.